what I would like to do tonight is to give you an overview of the situation, you could say, in the social-cultural area in the Netherlands, how people feel at the temperature of the country. You could say, is it a country in fever, or is it a country with a cold? Most of the time it's both in this country. And then see what we find about the situation in the Netherlands, the economic situation. I will take that into account as well. How happy you are with your life and with the Dutch society, also a comparison with other countries, and then move on to things like labor in the Netherlands and also the position of migrants. If we are lacking time, then we will move some more swiftly to the migrants and see what we can tell about them. But to get a more broader picture, I think a better overview of what's going on in the Netherlands, I think it's good to have a historical view and to see what's going on more in a general area in the Netherlands, especially in the attitudes of people, the feelings of people, the sentiments in society. And I would like to start with what I could call the Netherlands as a, could say, as a historical, or as a historic utopia, so that we look back at our history, just like our Prime Minister did half a year or a year ago in Parliament, and he said, well, we have to be inspired by our history and by the VOC, the Verenigde Oost-Indische Compagnie, the first, you could say, multinational in the world. And he said, I think we should. So he was in doubt if this was a good idea, because suddenly he remembered that there was also a slave trade involved in the VOC, etc., and that not everybody was so happy with what they were doing. But the whole idea is still looking back at the 17th century, the golden age, the golden century of the Netherlands, and having an ideal picture of an idealized picture of the 17th century. What was Holland all about? It was more Holland than the Netherlands. The Netherlands did not exist at those times. There were 7 united provinces with a dominance of especially Holland and a little bit of Zealand. But that was the idea, an ideal picture of a society which looks back and finds its identity in this golden age where the Netherlands were, you could say, world power. The great Dutch historian Johan Huizinga gave in the 30s, 1304 in Zeist, for students a lecture on what he called geestesmerk van de Nederlandse samenleving. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to make a translation of that word geestesmerk, but you could say a certain kind of an ideal picture of what the Dutch are, what the Dutch identity is. And he said, we are, and he used an English and French word for that, it's a society of bourgeois society, and every bourgeois society is satisfied. Is, you could say, is self-conscious, but also satisfied with its position, satisfied with itself. And it should be, because otherwise you are not at peace, and you are not, let's say, you're not a society in balance. So he had made a picture of the Dutch society as a bourgeois society, not an aristocratic society, not a society with great differences in social status, but a bourgeois society which is, you could say, at ease with itself, is satisfied with itself, and in peace. And that was an ideal picture which is which even after 75 years from now, from this 34, still is in existence. Also the idea that it's a society which is, you could say, an inclusive society, society also which tries to separate itself from, let's say, a more bad and a more difficult and dangerous outer world. Bourgeois societies are wealthy societies, otherwise you are not able to sustain the bourgeois lifestyle. And also societies with a lot of welfare involved, a lot of people who try to help our people who are less well off, people who are more poor, people who are sick, and to relieve their situation, to help the poor and the needy. Of course, there's also the idea that we are a sober society, a parsimonious society, society where people do not spend money on things that are not worth anything, but try not to rely on conspicuous consumption. That is an idealized idea of the Dutch society, because we know now, after much more history, maybe more historical research, that in the 17th century and in the 18th century, conspicuous consumption was one of the items of this society, and trying to impress your neighbors with your wealth, trying also to show off and to show how much money you have earned in trade or in other chaos, as a banker, etc. And very interesting, the idea where we also were idolizing ourselves in a way which is not really, you could say, compatible with the situation. The idea that we are at home in the world and that the world is welcome here. Well, the first is true, the second is not true. We always think that everybody is pleased when we go around. Many people still think that in Indonesia they were always happy to see us and were still longing for coming back to the Dutch realm, you would say. In fact, that was not true. The other thing is also not true. The idea that everybody is welcome here. That is very, very disputable if this is really the case. And it's of course one of these things we have to be to deal with this time and these years, that we suddenly notice ourselves as rather reluctant to accept strangers and to accept new people into our society. And that's very interesting because we come to a point where people from abroad point us out to us that they say, well, this is a very interesting society. You see, on the world scale, compared to other countries, the acceptance of modern technology, etc., the Dutch society is a modern society. It's very outwardly oriented, it's very modern. But internally, if you look at how people live, the values they share, also the way they are connected to the country and to the city where they are born and where they live, then this is a very traditional society. And you also see that we could say are open toward each other. There is a certain kind of openness in the Dutch society of the Dutch people among themselves. But on the other hand, you see that when people from outside come in, that the society closes itself. So there is a rather very interesting, we would say, not so much a paradox, but a certain kind of contradiction in the way we live. Externally modern, internally traditional, internally rather open, and externally rather, we would say, closed, rather restricted towards other people. And I think that this is the identity we have to come to terms with. That there's really a change in the way we live, a change in the way we think about ourselves, or we behave in the way that we have to think about what is really our identity these days. And hope that this discussion is not so much that de-Dutchman does not exist. Maxima thesis, you could practically say. The point is more, what are we really, what is really our identity, not our idolized identity, not like we are happy to see ourselves with, but what is in reality the case. So this is the background, I would say. This is what I would say is a general background of the modern Dutch society. And if we go to the, let's say, the entrance of the start of the 21st century, we see an interesting change, and I would like to show you that as we close in towards the modern society. It's very clear that there is a, you could say, after the 90s, there is a longing for the past, you could say. There's a certain kind of a romantic view of the past. 1950s, or the 1930s, or the 17th century, or the 19th century, or even the 70s, but not the present society. And people are idolizing how the world was organized in those days. As we say in Dutch, the famous phrase, toen was geluk nog heel gewoon. And in those days, 50 years ago, happiness was a thing of the daily life. It was just a normal thing. Everybody who is as old as I am, can remember how the 50s were, will not really share this idea unless you were a child. Of course, then everything is always normal and everything seems to be happy. But the whole idea that it was such a happy time is a little bit romanticizing of the past. But there is a longing for that past. You could say, Holland was still itself, still relying on itself, still remaining in itself, and still having this identity as a real bourgeois society, with no, you could say, people from outside coming in. In those days, 300,000 people from the Netherlands and Indies, from President Indonesia came to the Netherlands, and more than 300,000 people left this country because they had the idea that there was no future for them here, and no future especially for the children. The same reason why so many people came in later decades to the Netherlands in the hope that a better life for themselves would be here, and also a better life for their children. And this is, migration has always to do, is this a better life for me, but especially is there more prosperity, better future for our children involved there. And those hundreds and thousands of Dutch people who went to the United States, to Canada, to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Brazil, were people who were not, we could say, not satisfied with Dutch society anymore, were certainly not very hopeful about the future of that society. I really think we should go abroad to be more happy. We are looking now in a romanticizing way back to the past. And what you see also in society is, of course, that we were in the 90s, it was really a very happy society, a very satisfied society, proud of itself, proud of its global model, as was called, proud of its economic success, and that changed very fast after the change of the century. Satisfactory situation to, you could say, a situation of dissatisfaction, of distrust also of government and of the cabinet. And then, for the first time in a very long period of time, we were a country which went from a position as a high-trust country. It's a strong tradition of trust between government, between the cabinet, and the society. So also a strong involvement of both parties to a low-trust society, as most of the bigger European countries are. A low-trust situation between the population and the government. If you look at countries like the Netherlands, Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden, we always had this tradition, high-trust countries. We have fallen apart, you could say. We are not anymore in this league. We are a low-trust country now, with a rather cynical attitude towards the government. It's going to be a little bit, you could say, better now, but still we are in a low-trust situation. And a very interesting thing compared to 40 years ago, you could say, as in the 60s and the 70s, the whole idea, the issue, the main topic, the main, you could say, idea about what is going on in society and what society should strive for, what is important in our society, was the idea of more freedom, more personal freedom, more freedom to do as you like, to live as you like, and to organize your life in your own way. And now you see this has changed. Not any more freedom is the central topic, it's safety. And it is also being, you could say, the prevention of risks and the taking away of risk society, risk situations, and the taking over of risky situations by a government. So to keep people in a safe place and to keep people in a safe position. Safety in every way, in social security, but in present-day life, in political situations, in everything which could be dangerous, which could be risky, which could, let's say, undermine your safety. That's the issue these days. That's where the big change in those, you could say, in those 40 years, from a strong emphasis on liberty and freedom to a strong emphasis these days on security and on prevention of risks, safety first, you could say. And that makes us also more conservative. I'll come to that later on. When we had, in 2004, we did a big research project on how the Dutch would feel and how they would look at the future. And there was a strong difference, you could say, between how people looked at their own lives and how they looked at society and at government. And when I had to present this research project to the cabinet, I said, well, it's very easy, it's very simple to summarize what we found. What we found is, you can see this here. I'm okay, the others are not. Society is not okay. I'm not happy with society, happy with myself, happy with my family, with my health, with my work, with my income, with my house, everything okay. And society is not in order. I'm not happy with what's going on in society, not happy with the government. Met mij gaat het goed, met ons gaat het slecht. And you would find this sentence summarized also in the coalition agreement of the Dutch, of the new government, and the former government, but a little bit slightly otherwise formulated. You say, I'm okay, we are a little bit less okay. And so you could imagine there was also a Balkan and two in the Balkan and the third government. It would be difficult for them to say that they didn't do well, so they changed it a little bit and they said, wij gaan het ons wel minder. And at the moment it's is all, it's going, you could say, in a good direction. It's going better again. And that, of course, has to do with the change also in the economic situation. The situation now, the economic situation is very important. In those days, the cabinet asked me, well, what should we do to make things better for us, to make people more happy, to make people more, that they trust us more? I said, well, you have just to wait for the economic, that the economic boom is coming back, that there is also growth in labor participation, and that people will have faith in the future, faith in the personal future, and want to buy again things, want to take risks, small risks again, and are happy to be part of this society. And this is what's going on now. Of course, we are out of the recession, and we have in fact a booming economy, which is maybe already going to an end. It's not quite clear, but everybody expects that 2008 will also be a very good year. And we are, compared to many other countries, we are in a very good situation, even though if we don't believe it. The incidence of people without a job is very low at the moment, even lower than economically would be you could wish for. It's too low, in fact, at the moment, the people without jobs. 100,000 of them are more than 1 year out of a job, and the chances that these people ever find a job again is very, very low. But you need more, you could say, more unemployment, in fact, for a good economy. We have a very high BNP at the moment, 550 billion euros. It's an incredible amount of money. You have to realize that our national income, in a country like China, has a very long time just to equal it. Maybe they have now 3 or 4 times our national income, but they have 80 times more inhabitants. You have to realize that a country like the Netherlands, a small country like the Netherlands, has an export figure which is much higher than the whole of South America. So it's not that small. It's a small country, it's a small country in size. But if you look at the economy, it's really a mid-sized economy of quite substantial figures. The deficit of the government will be low this year. We don't know exactly how much it will be, but it will be between 1.5% and 1% of the national income. And we have a very positive balance in trade and industry and services. Most European countries, most countries in the EU, although the countries outside of the EU would be more than happy to be able to show these type of figures. And we just not very interested, not very good, not very satisfying. On the other hand, we see now that we picked up, you could say, the economic growth potential after the recession. We see that. We see the economic recovery. We see also that the personal optimism of people is growing, and that also the trust in the cabinet and in parliament is also growing. Not very fast, not on a very high level as we had in the 90s, but still it's growing. There is one point where it's different, growing fast compared to the past. And that's the last point you see here, that people are much more, you could say that belongs to this area of safety and of being prepared to avoid and to prevent risks. I could say what I call sociale strengheid. You could say a certain kind of disciplinary attitude towards each other. You should not be so liberal, so tolerant anymore, not gedogen, which is very difficult to explain and to translate. The whole idea is that people should be, the rules should be stricter, and they also should be stricter and enforced. That's an idea which is really, we find it everywhere. You find it in the political parties, you find it in political programs, you find it in the newspapers, you find it in the opinions that people voice when they are asked to give their opinion on all kinds of subjects. More strictness, you could say, more stick to the rules, etc. On the other hand, and that makes it very difficult for politicians, people are also, you could say, sensitive to all kinds of issues, to disturbances, to things that happen internationally, and volatile in their behavior at the voting when they have to vote. So it looks much more like, you could say, like Wall Street and like what's happening in the economy, and the reactions towards issues in other countries, towards problems in other countries, is much stronger than in the past. And also there is less, I would say, preparedness to vote for the parties you would be expected to vote for. Religion does not count anymore. If you are a laborer or a tradesman, it does not count anymore. It doesn't tell how your vote will be. It's much more volatile, and that makes it much more difficult for political parties, of course. Combined with the idea, it's the others that have to change their behavior. Perhaps most people never, if they say, well, norms and value are an issue in this society, people never mean that their personal norms and values are an issue. They never feel that the problem is with them, the problem is always with the others. It sounds a bit strange to say this, but every research we show is that people say, well, it's about the others. They have to change their behavior. They have to change their attitude. They have to be more strict. They have to be more abiding with rules that are set. Of course, I have to say myself, I'm free to decide for myself what is a good thing. Maybe you remember Mr. Heinsbroek, who said, well, of course I'm driving a Bentley, so if I'm driving 150 kilometers an hour, that's of course, I'm entitled to that because you can afford a Bentley. If you can afford a Bentley, you can drive 150 kilometers an hour. You are not worth anything. But the others have to stick to the rules because they are the normal people. It's a very interesting change in behavior and in attitude. In some way, we are all, I would say, practically inflicted with that. You can see this in the way people react to when their children are corrected by others. Dutch children are normally very noisy, not very disciplined and obedient children. Read the text in the 17th century from English, from French people, the German people coming to the Netherlands. They were all appalled by the way Dutch children were free to do as they like. And it's still the case. But 50 years ago, in those romanticized 50s, it was quite normal for neighbors, or for teachers, or for other people to correct behavior of children. Not their own children, but other children. Practically everybody reacts very sharply, very heavily on the corrections done by others of their own children. That has to do with this idea. I know what I do is my thing. I know what's good for me. I know what's good for my children, and you don't have to say anything about it. It's not entitled to do this. These are these things which make society rather difficult, and also for politicians rather difficult to react to that and to satisfy people. Dissatisfiers are more important in Western societies these days than satisfiers. And all these people coming back from China, from India, and saying, oh, there's such an energy there, and people are so enthusiastic, and people are so full of power and vitality. Yeah, no wonder. Every year things are going better in those countries. People get more money, get more things, get better houses, better cars, etc., better education. The Netherlands, Europe, in the 50s and the 60s. In our countries here in the West, you see that the attitude has changed. People do not expect that they will gain a lot, that they will win a lot, that there is a lot for them in store in the future. They are afraid that they are going to lose what they have. Their wealth, their education, their position in society, I would even say their position of their society in the world. That's what people are afraid of. And that makes people reactive and conservative. They are afraid of losing the position they had in the world. That's what is not really happening in the Netherlands. You see that everywhere. And in our country, you see that reflected in the elections of 2006. There's a strong tendency to what I call modern conservatism. The Socialist Party is not a leftist party in the traditional sense of the word. Not even, and not close to it. In fact, this is a modern conservative party. What does the Socialist Party want? To keep all the things all the rights of the welfare state intact. Do not change anything which we have installed in the 50s and the 60s. Let the welfare state remain. That's the whole idea behind the Socialist Party. It's not an international party, the Socialist Party. In fact, it is a national party. It's a family party, and it is a party, you could say, that is very strong in local, on the local level. Not typically the things you would expect from a, let's say, a traditional, very leftist, very socialist party. But it is just, it is another type of socialism. At the same time, you see at the other area, at the other part of the spectrum, is the party of Geert Wilders, the party for the liberty. That's not the right extremist party which we are used to in the past. Because what does Wilders say? Women emancipation, you would not go back on that. You will not go back and send back women back to the kitchen, etc. No, but we see that it now is threatened by other groups, by Islam, who want to go back women's emancipation. Gay passion, you don't want that to happen in your society, but that's what they are doing. That's why they are should not be part of this society. So Wilders is not a right-wing extremist in the traditional sense of the word. He is a modernist. And he said, what I would like to have is that we keep the things we have achieved in this country, the modern society we have, that should not change. We should not go back on it. That's very interesting to see that also that has a nationalist color. And Dutch, the Netherlands first, and the Netherlands, as you would say, has a castle, with strong walls to the outside, and a very pleasant place on the inside. A feast on the inside, and strong walls, and no bridges to other people on the outside. These are the things that we see now in Dutch society. That is, you could say, what I call modern conservatism, prepared to, geared to keep in place what people cherish about, you could say, what the 20th century has brought. So I think this is to give you a more feeling of the things that are going on in our society. And I cannot show you all the things about Tristan, so I will go through that. But maybe it's interesting to see what people think about politics and how they feel about politics, and then take it to extremist positions, not the Socialist Party and the Party of Wilders, but people who are absolutely cynical about politics, who are not involved, do not want to be involved. You could say people of the modern inner migration, so people who would not like to be involved, and people who are very active in politics, whatever party they have. 30% of the population on one side, 30% of the population on the other side. Dissatisfied people who are not involved in politics, and on the other hand, people who are involved in politics. Right wing, left wing, doesn't matter. I think that the government does not have much use in daily life. You see, people who are dissatisfied with politics, etc., 60% of them hold this position. And the other part, only 7% hold this position. Probably also a somewhat too optimistic view of what the government is all about. People as me don't have any influence on what's going on in The Hague in politics. You see, 80% of the people who are dissatisfied with politics and 50% of the people who are involved. If I look at them, I find these politicians so arrogant people. Well, you see, they come nearer to each other, come closer to each other. And what this country needs is not more talk, not more politics, but is more leadership. You see there that they also come closer to each other. And also is the next question, the people in the country need to have more to say about politics. There even they agree with each other. But then if you ask people, if the politicians want to do things you are not in agreement with, or are preparing laws you find wrong, would you do something against it? Would you rally against it? Would you send letters? Or would you go to political meetings? And then you see that the dissatisfied people say, no, not me. Only 25% of them would maybe do something. And the other part, 2/3 of involved people would do something. And then the last question I found absolutely astonishing, and also really did you feel, how can you reach these people? Do you ever read in the papers about politics? 2% of the people who are dissatisfied with politics ever read, maybe never read a paper, but ever read something about politics. Which means these people are only by way of television and accessible for political statements. And television is emotion, so it's not the statement which counts, it is the personality which shows itself on television, which makes, let's say, it helps to form the political views. Is it a nice one? Is it someone you can trust? Is it someone you like? Is it someone you find attractive or whatever? Not so much what is his or her idea, what is his or her statement on politics. That is really what is disturbing, and also what is really worrying. So few people who are, let's say, dissatisfied with politics and politicians are, you could say, to be reached in the future, now and in the future, with arguments, with political statements. Very difficult to reach them. And if the difference is, of course, that they are dissatisfied with politics, but not with their own lives. They are very satisfied with their own lives, but they do account for that. They say, well, that was my own work. It's not, has nothing to do with what politics has done for me. It's nothing to do with what the government does for me. I did it myself. I'm happy. I have a good home. I have good work. I have a good family, etc. Good health. Thanks to me. That's what people say. And there they are very, very satisfied in the show. 44% of the Dutch are very satisfied with their own life, and only 1% is so depressed that they are very dissatisfied with their own life. And you see there is not much change in these last years. And maybe many people think that, but that's everywhere the case. In every country you will find this. No way. Of course, in Denmark it's always better than in the Netherlands. Everything is in Denmark better than the Netherlands. Maybe not the weather, but everything is in Denmark better than the Netherlands. Always. They have a better welfare state, have a better system, they are more happy, have a higher income, etc. I try not to sound jealous, but okay, everything is better in Denmark. Everything is also a little bit better in Luxembourg. At least they have lots more money, but in most cases that's money that's coming from here. So they are happy with our money, okay? And then Sweden and the Netherlands are people with countries with very high satisfaction rates for personal lives. And you see Belgium, Germany, France, UK, Italy, much lower ratings for happiness in personal life, satisfaction in personal life. The other day, someone said to me, oh, but I always like to go to Italy, it's such a nice country. I say, yeah, you see how the Italians react to you being there. Not very satisfactory for them. And you see here how very astonishing for many people, the countries where people are most happy with their own lives are not the countries around the Mediterranean, certainly not Eastern European countries, many people would have expected that, but are the countries of Northwest Europe. There is a whole theory about what's going on there so that it makes them happy. It has to do with, in fact, that it's a bourgeois society, that it's welfare society, that it has a welfare state, that they have a high income level, and that the differences in income between high and people, the high end of the income scale and the low end is not so big. At least not too big, so that people find feelings of unsatisfaction about this. And the other thing is that's also informal societies and democratic societies. So all these things together bring itself a big satisfaction with life, and also with happiness, because happiness is also an even stronger thing, of course, than personal satisfaction. You can see this here. Most people in the Netherlands are very happy with their personal lives, and also that's not everywhere in the world the case. Denmark is a little bit better than the Netherlands, but if you go to Russia or Germany or Hungary, you will find lots of differences in the figures. I will show you now where people are worried about, and then we come to the position of the environment in this country. People, of course, are worried of things that are risks and that they endangers society and endangers their safety and their feeling of safety. Criminality, less, so that people not abiding to the norms and values of the bourgeois state, the insecurity about the future of the welfare state, safety, foreigners, people from abroad coming to our country, terrorism, and let's say material safety, and so the security safety, the security, and all those things where people look at the government, look at the cabinet, what are you going to do, and to safeguard my life and to make me feel more secure. These worries are already many years in different areas. You will find approximately the same types of reasonings about what I'm worrying about in the future. What we did in 2004 was ask people, what do you hope for the future? And that was very interesting because that was something where you again see the traditions come back and also the longing for a romanticized path. The most mentioned issue had to do with solidarity or feelings of social cohesion, togetherness, that people care more for each other, that people are prepared to do things for each other without having to be paid, etc. Also, that you could leave open the back door again. That's a very strong wish always in the Netherlands, and that you could leave the kitchen door open and that no one enters who does not have access normally to the house. It's also an idea of the 50s that in those days you could leave the kitchen door open everywhere. I was saying yes, for two reasons. There was nothing to get in those houses most of the time in the 50s, and there was always someone present. The lady of the house was present because she was not at work. That was the 50s in the Netherlands, so much for romanticizing. More safety, the values and norms you see again, this welfare state, material safety, let's say material wealth, and at the end also the solution for international problems. Because here, in the hope for the future, you will find more of this topic, the idea of solidarity, social cohesion, social togetherness, and the feeling of a society which is satisfied with itself, and where people are happy with each other. And that's not the case at the moment. This is to give you the background, and I think we will go, because time is running out, otherwise, to what was asked. How is the position of migrants in the Netherlands and what are the issues there? In 1965, the first 7 Turks came to the Netherlands. In that year, in 1965, there was 1 Moroccan in Utrecht. So we are talking about a development which started not practically 40 years ago with very small numbers. And in fact, it was in the 70s and 80s that these numbers rose very fast. But still, we have first generation and second generation ethnic minorities and not yet third generations. And here you see the numbers. Many people think that the Moroccan are the largest group in the Netherlands, but the Turks are the largest group, 2.5% of the Dutch population. And then Moroccans and people from Suriname is 2%, and then people from the Dutch Caribbean islands, and that's so less than 1%. If you look at this compared to other countries, it's a very peculiar situation. Moroccans you will find practically only in a very small number of countries, in the Netherlands, in Belgium, somewhat in France, and in this southern part of Spain. If you go to Germany, you will find 3 million Turks and only 60,000 Moroccans. So every country has its own history in attracting, you could say, specific groups, or having a colonial empire, a colonial past. Surinamese you will only find in the Netherlands, of course. The Dutch Caribbeans are only in the Netherlands. The English also have Caribbean islands, the French have that, and they have probably the same problems as we have. And also you must take into account what does it mean, these numbers, for the countries involved. We have 330,000 Surinamese people living in the Netherlands. In Suriname there are only 450,000 left. So Suriname does not have much potential for developing itself again. And about 40% of the population lives in the Netherlands, and it's the most active, younger, and better educated group that lives in the Netherlands. Same on the Dutch Caribbean Islands. There's about 250,000 people on these islands at the moment, and about 130,000 in the Netherlands. This makes a difference which is completely different from the way 300,000 Moroccans in the Netherlands are. If you have 30 million Moroccans in Morocco, and it's just a tiny drop, this migration. In Turkey, 70 million Turks, and these 300,000, 370,000 in the Netherlands is absolutely nothing. It makes a difference also for the countries that are involved. In 40 years' time, so from 1% of the population to 10%, maybe 11% at this moment, and concentrated mainly in the major cities. Rotterdam, about 36% of the population is non-Western origin, which is ethnic minority. Amsterdam, about 35%, and also Utrecht is going so in the direction of 25 to 30%. Most interesting development is Almere, the new town, which did not even exist in 1975, but has nearly 200,000 inhabitants now, and practically 25% of them are non-Western, of non-Western origin. And if you think about, let's say, the lower and middle class bourgeois life in the Netherlands, then you have to go to Almere. So what you see there is integration at its best, you could say. The people who come to the middle classes, the Surinamese people especially, but also Moroccans and Turks, they move from Amsterdam to Almere, and they have their doors on morning. There's a garden in front and a garden at the back, and a car in front of the house, or maybe even more wealthy, a car at the side of the house, because you have then twee onder één kap, a semi-detached house, which is genetically programmed by the Netherlands, that the Dutch people, that they would like to live in such a house, and where you have neighbors on one side and the car on the other side, and children in the backyard. And that's what we all strive for. It's genetically programmed, and it is just also, I would say, it is also taken over by people from other countries and other cultures. And if you look at it, many people forget about this. Over 40% of the ethnic minorities are born in the Netherlands. The second generation, especially, is mostly born in the Netherlands. Is young, is born in the Netherlands. We are used to think about a high number of children per family, but this is going down very rapidly. Surinamese and Caribbean people have the same number of children per household as the Dutch have. And also in the second generation, Turkish and Moroccan households, you see that the number of children per household is going down rapidly. It's you could say, accommodating and assimilating to the Dutch, what is the tradition in the Netherlands. Muslim, of course, Islam is very prominent among Turks and Moroccan. Practically all consider themselves to be really believers, which does not mean that they go to mosques and so on, but they live in a Muslim lifestyle. More than 90% of the Turks and Moroccans eat daily halal. 80% does really the Ramadan. And many, especially the Moroccans, pray 5 times a day. Things like that. This type of habits, this type of lifestyle is still very, very prominent. Difference between the groups is, of course, that you could say, I always say, the Surinamese you could not consider anymore to be an ethnic minority in the Netherlands. They have gone the way the people from Indonesia have gone. They are part of Dutch society, practically complete, integrated in Dutch society. If you think about the situation in 1975, when most of the Surinamese came to the Netherlands, because they promised them independence, and most of them don't, oh my goodness, that's not a good idea, let's go to the Netherlands before that we become independent, and stayed here. Integrated. In those days, there was a lot of fear, a lot of feeling that it was really an underclass developing there in Amsterdam. And nowadays, you can say, most of the time, in most cases, the Surinamese are very well integrated. People from the Caribbean is a very difficult situation. There always was a migration from the Caribbean to the Netherlands by reason of the lack of higher educational possibilities. So what you see is on one side, people from Curaçao and from Aruba and Saint Martin, who are highly educated and also part, you could say, of the top layers of the Dutch society. And on the other side, since the 90s, from the 1990s, people coming in from, especially Curaçao, young males, hardly educated, no job, and not really fluent in Dutch. Well, if you want, and coming along as single males, well, if you want to have problems with groups, migrant groups, then especially send lots of numbers of young males without education and without enough knowledge of the language to another country. Then we will have problems, and that's what we have, of course. If you look at the Turks, we call this a splendid isolation. The Turks have the Chinese model. Turks are not very problematic in Dutch society, but do not integrate very well. The language, they do not, many Turks, less Turks than Moroccans speak Dutch. Their educational level is not going so well. There's a certain kind of a lag there. But they have a lot of own businesses, attracting Turks and employing Turks. And they stay together and are very much oriented towards their home country, toward Turkey. The Moroccans, you could say, they integrate as well. That you could practically say it's a painful process, but they integrate into Dutch society. And that's really growing pains, you could say, you can see there. And you can see that also in some indicators. If you look at actors, playwrights, novelists, etc., journalists, also in politics, you will find more Moroccans active in the Netherlands than you will find Turks. The Dutch Moroccans have only one possibility to be active, that's in the Netherlands. Turks can participate in the Turkish culture, Turkish journalism, Turkish politics, Turkish economy, which is great, which is big, which is important, and which is very well developed. You must realize that a city like Istanbul has as much inhabitants as the Netherlands. And that is everything, and everything on a much higher level also as you will find in the Netherlands. If you go to a discotheque in Istanbul, you will find situations you will never find in the Netherlands, so luxurious and so modern and so big. Well, go there. Will be treated. How about education? There's an idea that there is a lot of problems there, and there are a lot of problems, but there are also. I made a comparison between 1996 and 2005, and we look at Moroccans and Turks, practically the same figures from 50 to 64 years. First generation coming, born and raised in Turkey and Morocco, and the second generation. And compared to the Netherlands, to the Dutch, the autochtone Dutch people. Only primary education. Our statistics lie in that sense. We cannot statistically take up people who have never gone to school, as we have. School is obligatory in the Netherlands. Our statistics only say that only primary education. And many of the Turks, especially many of the Moroccan, especially practically all the women of the first generation, have never gone to school at all, or have only seen school 1 or 2 years from the inside in their home countries. So these people are not, that is really a big difference between people who have had primary education and people who have never gone to school at all. I would say, well, all these beautiful folders and brochures made in Arabic, you could also make them in church Latin. It does not make sense. People in Morocco do not speak Arabic. And most of them are not able to read Arabic at all. So you could make the brochures as much as you make. They will not find access to this. Because the Turks, that's a little bit better because Turkish is of course a language which is standardized, etc. But you must realize that Dutch Moroccans do not even most of the time speak the general Moroccan language. They have their own language, which is not really written down. So they are in a position that makes it very difficult to make that step, you would say, towards modern society. Much more difficult for Moroccans than it is for Turks. So look at the figure for primary education, for basisonderwijs, is much care. It's not just that they had primary education. In many cases they did not have education at all. But look also at the last figure, people who had a professional or university education. You see, 4% of the population of those 600,000 people were in 1996 having this type of education, and by now it has doubled in percentage. Of course, it is far away from the percentage we have in our country, but if you consider where people come from, that they make this big leap in one generation, where most of us has 100 years of time, it's 3 generations, it's quite impressive. It's difficult, there's a lot of problems with the educational achievements, but it is really progressive. And now, what do people think about integration and about how integration should take place? And we asked in a big survey, people, the ethnic minorities themselves, about how they think about integration, what they should do about it. We asked Turks and Moroccans, etc., is it important for you to learn Dutch? Well, you see practically all of them say that it's important to learn Dutch. Practically 100% and 97% was a few years ago, now it's 95% said, well, of course it's important to learn Dutch. Is it important that you do not to stick too much to your own culture? You see there, the difference is a little bit, it differs. But even there you see that there is a way that we say, well, of course we should assimilate more in Dutch society, we should integrate more in Dutch society. Do you feel that you are already aardig ingeburgerd? Translated yourself, I would say, and that you feel nicely part of this society. You see that they felt that in 1969 and in 2000. These are the ideas of the ethnic minorities themselves. And now what let's say, the Dutch people think about it. Doen allochtonen genoeg aan integratie? And are non-Western, are ethnic minorities active enough to integrate in Dutch society? Yes, most of them do. You see the Dutch, on the right, 6% thinks that most of them do. But the Turks, the Moroccans, and the Surinamese themselves think differently about this. They think they do more. And they say, well, no, not enough. You see that there is a lot of agreement, in fact, between the groups. Also, a lot of Turks, Moroccans, and Surinamese think, just like the Dutch people, that many people do not enough to integrate into Dutch society. And of course, the next question was, do you think that you are integrated yourself into Dutch society? Do you feel at home in the Netherlands? Do you see yourself more as Dutch or more as an ethnic minority? Yes, I do enough to be participating in the Dutch society. You see Turks, Moroccans, and Surinamese, especially Surinamese, think, well, I'm integrated in Dutch society. That's quite right, of course. Do you see yourself as and not non-Dutch, so to say? You see that the Surinamese consider themselves to be Dutch, maybe. And do you feel at home in the Netherlands? And we also asked Dutch people this question, especially for Mrs. Verdonk and Mr. Wilbers. Do you feel at home in the Netherlands? Well, you see, 65% of the Turks feel at home in the Netherlands. 73% of the Moroccans feel at home in the Netherlands. 85% of the Surinamese and 91% of the Dutch people themselves. And no, I do not feel at home is a very small proportion of all these groups. This is important because there is still the idea that people do not feel at home, do not like to be here, would like to be prefer to be otherwise. In fact, this is not the case. All research we have done in this area shows, in fact, this kind of figures, so that you see really accepting themselves as being part of this society, living here, and also staying here. This is the way that it's going to be in the future. Do you think that we have too many people from ethnic minorities in the Netherlands? We asked all of this. Yes, too many ethnic minorities, say the Turks. Yes, with 37% of the Moroccans are this opinion, 34% of the Surinamese, and 44% of the Dutch. So Turks are more than all the other groups of the opinion that we have too much ethnic minorities. So if these groups always look at each other not in a very pleasant way, I tell you, they look at each other, you are, Turks and Moroccans make things worse for people from other countries. And Surinamese think, well, I'm not a Turk, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Moroccan, I'm Dutch. Things like that, that plays a very big role in this whole discussion, this whole area. Even if you think about Islam, it's always presented as a big group in itself. 850,000 people are Muslim believers in the Netherlands. But you really don't think that the Turkish people would go to a Moroccan mosque. No way. And the Turkish mosques, the mosques of the Turks, are paid for. Imams also are paid for by the Dutch government, by the Turkish government. The Turkish embassy in The Hague is the nucleus, you could say, of the Turkish mosques in the Netherlands. Turkey is a secular country, but it has a ministry for And they organize the whole Muslim religion and the whole mosque tradition in the Netherlands. On the Moroccan side, you will never find a thing like that. The Moroccan government does not do anything. Are too many ethnic minorities in an area, is that too much for a neighborhood? Well, you see here again that there is a strong agreement between all groups that this is not good for the neighborhood. Kijk even, moet ik stoppen met zijn hand? Een beetje. Oh ja. The Muslim lifestyle. Do you think, we ask Muslims, that Muslims could contribute much to the Dutch culture? You see here, they thought so in 1998, in 2006 they think less so. Do you think that Muslims have respect for, it's not asked to Muslims, asked to the Dutch people, excuse me, that Muslims could contribute to the Dutch culture, and that they have respect, that they respect the culture of others? You see there a big change in those 10 years, nearly 10 years, that they dominate their women in an acceptable way. Now, already 10 years ago, this was the idea, it's even more so, and that they are authoritarian in their educational style. I did not dare to show you what Muslims think about the Dutch lifestyle, but I can tell you that they think that Dutch men are sissies, are too tolerant towards their women, and that they let their children, give the children too much freedom. I mean, you would not be surprised to hear this. Are you afraid for violence from Muslim extremists? Interesting question. Yes, say half of the Turks, and nearly half of the Moroccans, and more than half of the Surinamese and the Dutch people. So this is also interesting to see. Muslim fundamentalism, Muslim extremism is also a threat to the groups themselves. They feel the same, practically the same way as the Dutch people do. Are you afraid of violence against Muslims, so that society is reacting against Muslims in a violent way? And also here you see that there's a lot of agreement between the groups that this could be the case. So these are things which makes it very interesting. And I present this to you in this way because I hope that it will help to, you could say, to bring more hygiene, practically, you could say, to bring more consensus in the discussion about the position of Muslims in the Netherlands and the way they are participating in the Dutch society and also feeling at home here and having, in many cases, in fact, the same way of thinking about a number of very important issues as the Dutch people have. The real difference is in the daily lifestyle. And that's, of course, that's the big problem, that if you look at the Muslim lifestyles as presented and as lived by Muslims in the Netherlands, you see that the difference between what is really religion, what is tradition and what is culture, and what how a family should live, what the relations between a man and a woman should be, how you should behave in public, and how women should present themselves in public, things like that. These are the issues where, let's say, there is really tension between the groups in the Dutch society. And if you look at many other things, then you see there's a lot of consensus and a lot of agreement in that sense. There's a lot more about these things to say, but I see that it's already 9:15, so if we would like to have some time for questions and discussions, I think we should do this. And Melanie is nodding that she is in agreement with that, so I would like to hear some of your comments or questions or maybe clarifications of things that were not clear enough at this moment.